Yeah, sure. Okay, it's been a long time since I talked about English, so I'm going to make up for lost time by talking about the whole lot in 5 minutes. Okay, that slide takes no time at all to explain. So this is where English comes from. Not from England, but from here. This is Saxony, Angeln, and Jutland. I feel really, really sorry for the Jutes. They're just no one ever remembers them. Anglo-Saxon Jutes. Before the Anglo-Saxons came here, they were mercenaries from to help the Romans. We spoke a language called British, which survives nowadays as Welsh and Cornish. So that's really the language of this country. But after Anglo-Saxons invaded, and throughout the Saxon and the Norman eras, we spoke a language called Old English, which sounded a lot closer to Scandinavian, especially in Yorkshire, actually, because Yorkshire was ruled by Denmark for many, many years. Quit! We're gardiner in Yedagun Fert Kunniga Thrunga Frunon, Hurfa in the Lingus Ellen Frenathon. Did you understand that? That's English. Some words survive. Look, there's under. See? Under. So some words survive. But then we moved on to Middle English. During this period, English was kind of outlawed. People in the country, like the rich people, mostly spoke Latin and French. And this guy, Chaucer, is like the hero of English. He wrote literature during the Middle English period. This is also the point where the language diverges between English and Scots. People often think Scots is a lot like English, but if you look at the later verses of this famous Scots poem, it actually doesn't look a lot like English at all. The great vowel shift. So the reason why English and Scots have such different vowels is because we had this big divergence where all the vowels change. This phrase at the bottom, you'll have to weep your boats if you want to dart. That's actually how we would have said, you'll have to wipe your boots if you want to date. Early modern English, this is the one that we're all familiar with. This is the thee and thou one, which is a kind of artifact of slightly more complicated rules. We had lots of weird grammatical cases and things like that, which have finally dropped out. But it's the point where English starts to become standardized. And this is the first British Empire. Maritime interests concentrated mostly in the Americas at that period in time. And this is the first time that English has kind of spread to other parts of the world. It's the first time English is spoken in Ireland as well. This guy, the Bard, you all know him. People often say he invented 1,300 words. Well, he didn't invent them, but he's the first credited source. He kind of popularized loads of these words. And words that we use every single day, like dawn and accommodation. These are words that didn't exist before Shakespeare. King James Bible, we all know about that and its influence on English culture and everything else. There's loads of phrases that it introduced. Look at the Z in the title, I'll come back to that. American English. People often complain about Americans. Look at this, right? These are all quotes from Gulliver's Travels, written by Jonathan Swift, who was an Irish Englishman. And look at the date format. Look at everything. I mean, this is what people think are Americanism. This is what we spoke in the 18th century. Loads of others. Aluminium. It was some idiot who changed the spelling to aluminium because he forgot platinum there, didn't he? ISE, that's laziness, because we couldn't remember that words like surprise and compromise that end with ISE. We just changed them all. Second Empire, what's really interesting about the Second Empire, the Great British Empire, is that the United States is not included, right? It had already got its independence by the time we built our empire. And that's why American English is so different from all the other English. Between American independence and the Second World War, we didn't really talk to each other, and so everything that was invented in that period has a different name in America. And some words mean different things completely, like sit on your bum, that's like very offensive to homeless people. Language of Empire, we gained loads and loads and loads of words. This is what's great about English. All these words that we use every day, they come from all sorts of languages, from all over the world. And quickly, at the end of the empire, the same thing is now happening with other Englishes around the world that happen to American English because they're on their own. Two of my favourites, Indian English and Nigerian Pidgin. But even Irish English now is so dramatically different from the English we speak in. Global language. There's a big battle between French and English. French, this place, the Académie Française, responsible for standardising the French language, whereas we just went for it. We just took grammar, words, anything that we felt like, and that's why we won. And Globish, a guy called Jean-Paul Nerrière invented this idea that we only need 1,500 words of English to communicate with everyone in the world. So the idea is that English people unlearn their language so that they can communicate better, and it's great for science, it's great for any kind of global, global presentations and things like that. So.